but even from people or even from men where you don't expect it, I've really seen a lot. Hallo Freunde, welcome to my vlog 2. Back in the days, the sailorman said, a woman on board means bad luck. Is it still the same? For me, being on tour with so many musicians, it was often like being surrounded with women in their PMS time. Sorry to say, but very often I've experienced that men, and especially musicians, they can be really bitchy, like really. They just can fight like a girl, they just can be upset like a girl. A story I've experienced on tour with my band, and 2 of the band members, they just had a massive fight. They were just like shouting and screaming at each other, finding arguments, and at some point both of them just started to cry and saying, I love you so much, you're like a brother to me, I'm so sorry. It was so fun, and it was also like really cute. There's definitely a female side in every man, I can tell you. Well, as I am a really chilled out and relaxed girl, don't say anything. I think I can be more the type like, I can be a maid, you know, and men often start to trust me and they just lose all their boundaries. And then you experience like really weird things. I've seen a lot of infidelities backstage. That's a topic I definitely want to talk about. And if you kind of want to have a rock star, yes, you're probably not going to be the only woman or the only girl that admires that musician on stage. Very often when their partner is not there, there might be another partner backstage or a groupie. But even from people or even from men where you don't expect it, I've really seen a lot. In the beginning I was shocked, like I was that innocent girl believing in the big love and you're like, oh my god. But what I've seen is they can still be the best husband that you can imagine, like the best man at home, the best father, the best friend for their woman. They just do everything they can for their family or for their partner at home. And they would never ever leave them. Once they're loyal, they're loyal. And I've experienced very often, as I'm working together with a lot of men, I've been really intimate with them, really close for a long period of time, where they are just out of the cage, surrounded by their mates and their bros. For me, in the beginning it was tough. I still know a lot of their partners, and in the beginning you have like a bad feeling. But I just can tell you, like, if a man has an affair, very often it doesn't really mean anything to them. If they are committed to something, then they are committed to it. Because I've experienced men are very loyal. When they're into a project, into a band, into a song, or into whatever they do, into a friendship, into their family, they commit fully. And that's one thing that I really admire and that I also try to adapt to my life. Commit to something, and once you're committed, stay to it. And being a girl on stage, of course, you kind of have to have that certain look. You have to represent yourself. You have to hear a lot of bad jokes. And there's a big law on stage, or there's a big law in every band, I would say, or most of the bands, that's like never touch the female singer. No, it's actually the opposite. Like, I've experienced, my colleagues have always been super protective about me. They always took care, or still take care about me, no matter what I have. They help me to set up, they help me to pack, they watch after me. They see if I'm alright, they help me carry the heavy stuff and everything. Being a woman in a male-dominated business also means like having a lot of big brothers around you. That's really another big positive attitude that men have. Still in my businesses, they have all been male-dominated. I worked for a logistic company for supply chain management. And there was this really good situation where I had a meeting with one of the bosses Usually in my office, I would wear like normal stuff, more like the casual business look. But on that day, as it was one of the big managers and I wanted to convince him, I was wearing my suit. And the meeting table was out in our construction hall. So it was a factory, construction factory, and we had this round table or this little table out in the hall. And in the hall, of course, we had a lot of, those heavy men carrying around heavy stuff, repairing stuff. And they were just cool and relaxed all the time. They were just wearing their normal outfits, like just a jeans and a t-shirt, and that's it. And I was waiting on the table out in the hall for the manager. And I was just standing there in my suit Friday afternoon, waiting and waiting. Of course, he kept me waiting because he's the big boss. Then all of the employees from the hall, all the strong men, they just came and they walked all towards the kitchen. And then they all came out with cleaning stuff because it was Friday night. They all had to clean their machines. And I was just standing there in my suit and I watched them. And they were like, hey, baby, when we are finished, should we come and clean your desk as well? And I was like, that's what I want to hear, guy. So it was like a turned world for me, Me, the young girl in the suit, and the other men were just cleaning. That's actually the modern business, right? And guess what? I even convinced the manager. One thing that always works when you work together with men is with the weapon of a woman. How are you going to represent yourself in front of men? It's a very thin line. You have to work hard to earn some respect, because one thing, no matter where you go and no matter what you do, when you come in a room with men, they always scan you. And then it's just a natural thing that they first think of sex, yes or no. That's the first thing every man thinks when they see a woman. If it's like yes, you have to kind of link it to another direction to get that serious respect, that they see you serious and not just like a sex object. You have to kind of turn it around. You have to make use of being a woman and of your female weapons, definitely, but in a really smart way. I think working together with men is very often based on emotions. There is a difference in sensitivity between man and woman, because a man would always be direct. He would say, you look good, you look hot, you look sexy. He would also say, you look shit. He would say, you've done a good job, you've done it right. He would say like, what the fuck, have you learned anything? Or what? I've also experienced as a singer that my colleagues are very often jealous. There was this dancer in the audience and he was super hot, like he had that body and he could dance. Obviously he was a professional dancer. And at some point he got rid of his t-shirt and you're like, as a woman, like all the women just turned around and they were like, whoa. And of course the attention just switched over from the guys on stage towards this hot dancer in the audience. After the show I just could hear like, what an idiot. Why would you do that? Why would you get rid of your t-shirt? And you don't do that and blah, blah, blah. He was just drunk, what an idiot. And I had a chat with him and he was such a nice guy, like such a nice guy. And they were so jealous. They just couldn't handle it. But to sum it up, men, they definitely have the loyalty and the honesty. They really respect you as part of the team. They take care of you like a brother or like an uncle or a father sometimes. What I really love about them is they don't care about the opinions of others. A woman often tries to be everybody's darling and men just don't give a shit. And they have a really good friendship and brothership. Like when they commit to something, they stick to it. And maybe that's one thing that we can learn. And one thing that I want to tell you guys out there, if you have a woman on board, it's cool if you put us on the same level and you see us as your mate. But it's not really cool if you fork in the bus or you stink or whatever, or you make dirty jokes. And yes, you are a man, but sometimes it would be also good if you learn how to handle your hormones. Because PMS should be still our business. So guys, just let me know how your experience were in a male-dominated business. Tell me your stories. I'm really excited to hear that from you. And my album is definitely going to talk very often about sexism. It's a big issue. Equality is for me a big issue. We are very different, but in the end we are all the same. So guys, that was it for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you very soon.